rankings, though. It's new week. Let's talk power rankings. We're going to go 10 through 1. Will the D-backs, Padres, and Dodgers all be in it? Well, let's figure it out. Let's start at number 10 in the power rankings this week. They were not ranked last week. They are back in the rankings this week. The Houston Astros. Massive, massive sweep of the Red Sox. I mean, dominant. Absolutely throttled them in that series at Fenway Park. Huge series for them. Astros obviously right on the cusp of first place in the AL West. But in the wild card, just in case the Mariners win that division, if you're the Astros, you got to figure things out because your record's not good enough to get in. The Red Sox were right on the cusp of a playoff spot in the wild card race. Astros playing them. They were behind them. Well, you end up sweeping them. Huge series win. Astros are playing great baseball. Since May 8th, the Astros are the best team in the game of baseball. The number one record in that time. That's a long time. May 8th, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, over 3 months. Thank you for bearing with me during that math. Astros here at number 10. At number 9, I'm going Arizona Diamondbacks. 8-2 in their last 10. Crept way back in this division race, only 3.5 behind the Dodgers. They're sitting in a wild card spot. They've been really good. It's been a matter of them for as well. Health, underperformance, they've been dealing with it all. Getting a little healthier with Eduardo Rodriguez coming back. They're definitely getting healthier all around, and they've been playing really good. So I have the Diamondbacks at 9, and I'm going Padres at 8. I'm still a little bit higher on the Padres than I am the D-backs just because of their roster as a whole. If you could ask every other team, all 29 teams, would you take the Diamondbacks bullpen right now over yours? And I don't think there's a single team that says no. The Padres bullpen has been elite. It is the best bullpen in baseball, and it just is a different team than it ever has been than I remember. Even since they started spending money, this team just feels different. The Padres are really good. They're holding down a top wild card spot right now. They're on the heels of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I really like this team, and as my shirt here says, well, one, you're hopefully getting Tatis back. He's on it, but hope. The Padres have all the hope in the world right now. At number 7, the Twins. I bumped them down 1 spot. Just an okay week playing. I think the Twins are a good baseball team. I think the Twins are going to win the AL Central. But I did bump them down from 6 to 7 because I bumped up to number 6. One of the hottest teams in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers, hitting .318 in the month of August. No other team's even hitting .290. You got the Brew Crew hitting .318, almost about 30 points higher than any other team is hitting in this month. They scored 41 runs in a 4-game stretch last week. 3 against the Braves, 1 against the Reds, 41 runs in that stretch. The Milwaukee Brewers have quietly been one of the best teams in baseball. Now they get a huge series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, which I'm pumped to see. But nobody's talking about the Brew Crew. I'm going to do it. This team is offensively better than anybody right now. They're pitching lights out. The stadium is rocking. Shout out Milwaukee Brewers fans for showing up for this team. The place was absolutely rocking over the weekend. I love to see it. I love to see the Brewers playing well. Rhys Hoskins hitting well for this team. Huge late clutch homers for the Brew Crew to win them some games. So I had to bump up the Brewers. They are close for me. Man, if they beat the Dodgers in this series, they're going to be a top 5 team for me. Playing great. But let's go to number 5, that team they are playing, the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers get swept early in the week from the Philadelphia Phillies, but they are now getting healthier. You can't tell me the Dodgers aren't a top 5 team in the game of baseball. They are, and they're finally getting healthier. Mookie back in the lineup, Freddie back in the lineup. You now have Shohei, Freddie, and Mookie all back together. Pitching starting to get healthier. So though they got swept earlier in the week, I do have the Dodgers here as my number 5 team. At number 4, I'm going Cleveland Guardians. Guardians have been one of the most fun teams to watch this year. You everything they've been doing with Jose Ramirez, obviously, who's the most underrated player in baseball. And I know you can say, is he really the most underrated player? I think everybody knows he's great. No, he is the most underrated player, even though everyone knows he's great. I just don't think people know how great this guy has been. What a superstar. Josh Naylor has been really good for them. Stephen Kwan at the top of the lineup. Bullpen has been arguably the best in baseball. Emmanuel Clase is the most dominant closer in the game. Um, Guardians are just a lot of fun. And I love the addition of Lane Thomas at the deadline. So Guardians here at number 4. At number 3, down another spot, I'm going Philadelphia Phillies. And people keep saying, I know the Phillies are a big talking point in these power rankings. People keep saying, okay, Phillies, what do you, why are they still here? Why are they so high? Bump them way down. That's not how these work. It's not how power rankings work. This team has proven all year long that they're one of the best teams in baseball. They're on a skid, which is why now for a couple of weeks they've been falling one spot at a time. But let's not forget they swept the Dodgers at the beginning of the week. Dodgers are one of the best teams in baseball. They swept them. They dominated that series. Then they end up losing another series. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So I bumped them down again, but you can't tell me they're not a top 5 team. They're unbelievable. They're just going through a little bit of a skid. Every team does it at some point throughout the year. The Phillies are going through it right now. I'm not going to overreact, as I try not to do with any team. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Yankees fans were calling for the New York Yankees to be out of the top 10. They don't deserve it. Last week, I bumped them back up into the top 5 somewhere. And then they're saying, no way should they be this low. They're much higher. Let's not overreact with power rankings. It's a long season, 162 games. I'm not going to overreact one way or another. That's why the Phillies are just going down 1 week at a time. One spot right now. They went down 1 to number 3, up 1 to number 2. Those New York Yankees entering the new week, same record as the Baltimore Orioles, tied atop the AL East. They're just a totally new and different team with Jazz Chisholm in that lineup. I called that. I loved the trade. I thought they needed it. The Yankees are boring, is what I said. Jazz Chisholm is not boring. He's been a huge addition to that lineup. A fantastic for every possible reason. Defense, versatility on defense, offense, swag, everything you could possibly want. Jazz Chisholm Jr. brings to the team. The Yankees have been really good since then, and they are now right back in it in the AL East. They really, even when they weren't playing well, they really never fell out of it. But they are back in it, tied at the top of the division. But at number 1, I still do have that team they are tied with in the Baltimore Orioles. I love this team. I know they're just 5-5 in their last 10. But to me, I'm going to keep them here because this is pretty simple. For me, with my power rankings, they come out every single Monday on MLB on Fox every single week. Somebody needs to do something to take the number 1 spot. The Phillies had been there for a while, and then they really started playing poorly. So I felt, you know what? They're out of it. Nobody in my mind right now is good enough to have that number 1 spot, or at least knock the Orioles out of that number 1 spot. The Yankees have been playing better, but they're 6-4 in their last 10. The Orioles are 5-5 in their last 10. Are the Orioles playing their best baseball right now? Absolutely not. But of these teams behind them, the only team in this top 10 right now, well, that has been in the top 10 that's playing their best baseball all year is the Milwaukee Brewers. Padres are playing really well. D-backs are playing really well. Astros playing really well. But of the team that's been in it pretty much all year long, the Brewers, they're playing their best baseball. That's why they bumped up. Dodgers not playing their best. Guardians not playing their best. Phillies are playing probably their worst baseball of the year. Yankees not playing their best, but playing pretty well. Orioles not their best either. So we're not going to have a ton of movement at the top. I'm keeping the Orioles at the top. They're at the top of the AL East. They're battling it out with the New York Yankees. I love the team, top to bottom in that lineup. Rotation can be good enough, especially with the additions they made. Zach Eflin, really good in his last start. Bullpen additions, I think, are going to be huge come playoff time. Give me the Orioles at the number 1 spot. So 10 through 1, we go Astros, D-backs, Padres, Twins, Brewers, top 5, Dodgers, Guardians, Phillies, Yankees, Orioles. Just outside this week, Kansas City Royals. I had to put the Astros in at 10 because the Royals have a better record. Again, if you want to see standings, you can Google it. You can go to MLB.com. You can go to the MLB app. You can go wherever you want. If we're just doing standings, everyone can see that. If we're doing power rankings, that's a bit of a different conversation. Give me the Astros over the Royals right now in a tight one. Royals do have a really good record. They're probably at 11, but that's why I went Astros over Royals, just because of their play right now.